Right. I'm glad you're back. Friends, you know, Chuck.
Sorry guys, we'll be next
I'm glad you're here.
גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. I give you the band, ladies and gentlemen. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם yada. Bring the band down. I want to hear you sing. I'm gonna conduct you. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. You sound great. You sound great. Oh, now hine matov manai. Everyone, good Yontif, and Shana Tova, and welcome to our fourth year. I think it's our fourth. Is it our fourth? I think so. Here at the bitter end. My name is Rabbi Stephen Blane. For those of you who are first timers here, and I'm the founder of the online Jewish Universalist Synagogue, Shalom, which right now people are watching our live stream. They're all over the world, and we've been developing that community for about 9 years, and it's amazing. We have people all from Chile and from Australia and from Minnesota. You know, the farthest reaches of the world are watching us. I'm also the founder of a new Jewish movement called Jewish Universalism. It's a movement in which we welcome everyone to be with us, to worship with us, and we don't push anyone away. We embrace everyone. I'm also the dean of the Jewish Spiritual Leaders Institute, which is an online rabbinical community for those students who are qualified. They join us, and they are ordained rabbis, and we now have 139 rabbis serving around the world. It's truly a miracle, and they're doing amazing work. And I've got 6 cantors that I'm training also, so it's beautiful. I'm also a singer-songwriter, and I'm a first-time grandfather to baby Stella. But among my most proudest accomplishments is having the good sense to marry my amazing wife, Carol, almost 32 years ago. How many points do I get? Except for that comment about my lovely wife. This is an exact repetition of my Rosh Hashanah opening, ladies and gentlemen, because I get more and more lazy as I pass these. But I do want to mention that we're really thrilled to be here at the bitter end on Bleecker Street, and here the Jewish New Year 5779, according to Jewish custom tradition since the creation of the universe. This is our 4th year, and like I've said before, I feel like this is a holy place. I do. It's amazing if you think about the energy and the spirit of all those amazing artists that have come through here before us, and those are people whose music have changed the world. I want to also give a shout out to Paul Rizzo, who's in the front. Paul, where are you? Look at Paul. There's Paul. Paul is the boss. He's the owner. And he loves having us here, and we love being able to be here. So thank you again, Paul. Now, on Rosh Hashanah, it's written, and on Yom Kippur, it is sealed. How many shall leave this world, and how many shall be born into it? Who shall live, and who shall die? The rabbis say that there are 3 ways that we can alter our fate and be sealed into the book of life. And those 3 ways are through teshuvah, repentance, tefillah, prayer, and tzedakah. And we have envelopes for you on the way out. We're up for the tzedakah part. Ladies and gentlemen, my band here today, I want to also acknowledge them right now. We've got bassist Kevin Haley right here in back of me. We've got Jack Lotman on piano. We've got Carol Sudholter on sax and Gary. Liz Taub on fiddle. And Frank Levitino, who is changed to Levine on Yom Kippur, here on the So again, I just go over this with you, and then it's mostly music. A couple of things you should know. The music you're about to hear has a deep connection with our tradition. It's based on melodic fragments. A lot of the melodies are melodic fragments that are derivative of high holiday trope. And trop is derivative of the melodies that we chant the Torah. And we have a special melody that we chant the Torah on the high holidays. So these melodies really are connected to our Torah, and they're, some say they're literally given to us at when the Torah was traditionally given to us on Mount Sinai. So the tradition is some of these melodies are 4,000 years old. Now we don't have to go there, but they are definitely old. They're definitely ancient, except some of the folk melodies that we will be doing for you. We want you to sing with us. We've given you little booklets. Okay, but many of you don't even need the booklets. You're going to know the words to many of the things that we're doing, and that's really what I wanted to do. So I want to close by saying I wish you the very best of luck, because at the end of today you're going to be sealed. So pray hard, sing hard, okay, and maybe you really will. I'm sure you're all going to be blessed with a beautiful year. So from the Psalms, we're going to do a piece for you. It's a folk melody. It's called Pitchuli. Open the gates of righteousness, and I will enter into them. I will give thanks to the Lord. This is the gate of the Lord. And Carol's going to count it off. Open the gates of righteousness, O Lord, for all of us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue with the Kol Nidre. The Kol Nidre that we sing is typically done, of course, on the evening. It's called Kol Nidre, but it's actually Erev Yom Kippur service, and it's possibly the most famous prayer that we have. In fact, when cantors are auditioned for synagogues, and it's any of you who are sitting on boards or ritual committees, when you bring in a cantor, can you sing a Kol Nidre for us, please? It's very important. So that's and here's the thing. It's usually it's true. Traditionally, it's chanted before the official evening. because you see the Kol Nidre is a legal it's a legal document, and it's a piece of business. And when the Yom Tov or the Shabbat occurs, you're not supposed to conduct business. So that's why, for traditional Jews, and I would include Orthodox and Conservative, they're going to do the Kol Nidre 5:30, 6 o'clock, that kind of thing. In the Reform and the Reconstructionist and the progressive movements, they'll do it at 8 o'clock because they know they're going to get a big crowd, you know, and they do, All right, like I said, it's a legal procedure by which members of the congregation are released from unfulfilled vows which they might make during the coming year, and it derives. It doesn't actually. I have incorrect information. The thought is that it derives from a time in our history during the Marranos when the Jews were forced during the Inquisition to convert. So it was the idea that these vows will be releases from these vows that would cause them dispensation, the Jews, and they would feel better, and so they, even though they were now Catholic, technically, they still didn't feel that, and they felt that God understood that. However, we know that the legal, that the Kol Nidre language really was written maybe even 1,000 years before the Inquisition. So there you are. All right, I'd like to now call up a good friend of mine, Stephen Silverstein, who's going to hold the Torah for us. Stephen's my neighbor, and he's also an architect, if any of you are looking for work. All right, Steve, why don't you stand over here? And I guess you're just going to hold it like that. It's a little Torah. We're going to learn a little Torah today. All right, we have a special treat for you this morning. The band is going to go through it melodically first. Okay? Kippurim zeh ad Yom Kippurim habo aleinu letova kol hon yichradna Shavitin B'Teilin U'Avutalin La Shiririn V'la Kayamin Nidrana Yesarana la yesarei ushavuata la shavu some latecomers. Let's not call any attention to them. All right, in Psalm 150, which is taken from the Old Testament, King David, according to Jewish tradition, urges the congregation to praise God with music and dancing. Praise God in heaven for his mighty deeds, with trumpet calls, harp and lyre, drum and dance, flutes and strings. Hallelujah, The official call to worship. This is the melody we use in the evening. But since many of you probably didn't go in the evening, it's okay to do it in the morning, right? So let's try it together. The Baruch Hu. Sing with me, you know it. Together. Baruch Hu et Adonai. be the Lord to whom our praise is due. Praise be the Lord to whom our praise is due now and forever. I'm going to continue with the Shema. And this Shema has been arranged to be cool for the band. It's a very, very cool Shema. We want you to sing. And one of my favorites. Well, of course, you know, the Shema it should be one of everybody's favorite, because what it basically says is that there's one divine source, and everybody shut up and listen. That's pretty much it. Here we go. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. The Lord is one. In the English. O Israel, hear, O humankind, the Lord is God, and God is We like applause. It's all right. We enjoy applause. Thank you very much. That was beautiful. And wasn't that beautiful? Yeah. We're getting. I think we're getting better. Right? Right? All right. Let's get back.
Back next week.
We're going to continue with the Chatzi Kaddish. And this is in the correct melody that we use for the this would be for the Musaf service. Remember, traditional worship for the in the synagogue on Yom Kippur, there's a service that starts about 8:30, and there's the preliminary prayers that goes till about 9:30, or 9:45, and then you have the Shacharit, which is longer, the morning prayers, which is longer than it is on Rosh Hashanah. So that's what 9:30, 9:45. So you're going to go about an hour and a half, 10:45. About a quarter after 11 is when you get to the beginning of the Torah service, sort of, right? And you got a speech and all that. You're not done till 2 o'clock. So there you go. Right? We know the way this works. So this is the Chatzi Kaddish from Musa. Me and Jack. V'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah V'alma tivrach irutei V'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon kol yomeichon U'b'chayei kechol Beit Yisrael B'gala U'b'zman Kari V'yimaru Amen Yahei Shemer Avon Mevorach Le'olam Kulol Me'almai Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ad Yitroman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalev V'yitalal Shemei T'kudusha Baruch La'ela u'le'ela Mikol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nehemata Damira ve'alma ve'imerun And that's the Chatzi Kaddish. So now we're going to continue. We move on to the Avot, which has several names. That would be the fathers, the Amot ve'imahot, the fathers and the mothers, or the Shemona Esrei, the 18 blessings, the Amidah, literally standing before God. But it's the core of our liturgy. It's the core of our liturgy. We say it in both the Shacharit and in the Musaf. So it's actually said twice traditionally on Shabbat, festivals, and on, of course, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So this is one of our hits, right? This one? This is one of our hits. This is the A-side. All right, I got Jack and Carol's. Okay, here we go. So this melody, by the way, this is one of those Mi Sinai melodies. One of those old ones. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Let's hear it. Kevin, Carol, Liz. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov. Isn't our music beautiful? We really do have. Sometimes though it's hard to hear it because there's such a density of melody in the synagogue. So much, you know. But when you the quality of our melodies is really beautiful. It's really amazing. I have a jazz waltz for you now. Zachrenu l'chaim. Zachrenu l'chaim is not in here. I don't think. No. Remember us, Zachrenu l'chaim. Remember us for life. This is in the theme of course, on Yom Kippur. Remember us for life, King of desire of life, and write us into the book of life. For your sake, God, life is life. Zachrenu l'chaim. Oh, it's jazz. No. Oh, is that right? Is that right? He's right. Jack is right.
Jeff, he was right. He was the one that was right.
Thanks, Frank. Zachrenu l'chaim, melech hafetz v'chaim, v'chadmeinu b'sefer ha'chayim, v'chadmeinu b'sefer ha'chayim, v'mancha Elohim Sinai melody, but it's very pretty, and you hear it all over the world. It's one of those during the Avot, during the last piece. It's expanded liturgy, and it's one of the congregational melodies. Of course, it's not done this way. Zachreinu lechayim, melech hafetz b'chayim, v'chatmeinu v'sefer achayim, v'chatmeinu v'sefer achayim, lemancha Elohim chayim, lemancha Elohim chayim, lemancha Elohim chayim. Nice that. All right. I think you're going to stay on the Barry for this. Mechal Keil Chayim. All right. This liturgy says, again, this occurs in the context of that avot. We have many congregational melodies interspersed with the cantor chanting a lot of stuff in traditional davening, traditional prayer. So this Mechal Keil Chayim is also one of those folk melodies, but we've treated it, made it kind of cool. Here we go. Here we go. Mechal Keil Chayim v'chesed v'chayei meitim v'rachamim Rabbi somech noflim v'rofei cholim u'matir asurim can you be compared, O King, who brings death and gives life, who makes salvation grow? Who is like you, compassionate Father, who remembers his creatures in compassion for life?
Thank you.
Very profound song too. Let's and this next one is also a jazz waltz. Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu. Hear our voice, Lord our God. Spare us, pity us, accept our prayer in your gracious love. Shema Kolenu.
He knows what he, because the check cleared, it's okay.
Absolutely right. Shema, Shema, Kolenu. Shema, Shema, Kolenu. Shema, Shema, Kolenu. Shema, Shema. Shema, Shema, Olenu. Let's go to the beat. Everybody sing Shema Kolenu. Here we go. Shema, Shema, Kolenu. Same thing. Shema, Shema, Kolenu. Shema, Shema, Kolenu. Shema, Shema. some music, right? No, we're going to do Baruch Hashanah now. This is Frank's favorite. All right, Baruch Hashanah. On Baruch Hashanah Yikatevun, Uviyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemun. Let me just wait before we do this. Let me just see who has who. This is your first time here. Can I see hands? First time. First time? Love it. Love it. Thank you. And you're still here. That's really great. We love that. I just want to acknowledge people. First of all, Edith Alphanis, where are you? Edith, there you are. Okay, good to see you. Jeffrey Biden? There you are. Okay. Stuart Bird? Where are the birds? Great. Okay, there you are. Karen Bush. Thank you. Thank you all of you for supporting us. Marilyn Diamond. Where are you, Marilyn?
Here I am.
There you are. It's hard to see because of the lights. It's like, but okay, great. It's good to see you. Thank you for supporting us. How about Diane Diamondstein? That's a great name. Diamondstein. Is it Stein or Steen? Steen. You never know. It's Bernstein, Steenstein. You just never know of it. Michelle Drotman. Thanks for coming, Michelle. Family's here. All right. Thank you, family. Magda Dvir. Wait, I have a friend, Betty Dvir in Bergenfield. No? Okay. All right. Just wondering. You know, you never know. Kathy Elkies. There you are. And Oliver. Oliver is my best congregant. He comes to everything. God bless him.
He stayed downstairs for last week.
That's right. All right. Sybil Fishman.
Here. Here I am.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Great. Thank you again for supporting us. Lana Gex. There you are. Thank you. Welcome. Jeff Goldsmith. Jeffrey Goldsmith. Where are you? Okay, there you are. And Jill Goodman. There you are. Thank you very much. Stephen Greenberg.
Yeah.
The Green. I mean, you know, come on. The whole table here. It's unbelievable. God bless them. Micah Grossman. There you are. Thank you. Ronald Heller. Good. Thank you. Welcome, Ronald. Sharon Cat. Sharon or Sharon?
Sharon.
Of course it is. Sharon. Yeah, you go pronounce all these names, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Nancy Kaufman. That's easy peasy. There you are. All right, Nancy. Herb Kozlov. Where are you? There you are, Herb. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Alan Lash. Where's the Lash?
We're here.
There you are. They're great. They're always here. I love them. Are the Lazars here? Kate?
Yes.
Where are you?
Hi.
I just married them. Are you still married?
Yes.
It never fails, that joke. I don't know why. Kate and Jose. All right. Stephen Levine? There you are. You're always here. What?
32 years.
32 years you married? Unbelievable. What keeps you together? Love. Are you related to Frank, by the way? Mazel tov on 32. I share your year. Terry Levine. Oh, where's Terry? You know you have relatives here. Where's this Terry? Terry. I'm sorry, I couldn't see you. Okay, good. And they're good. They're getting married soon. I'm officiating, right? Yeah, I just want to... Stephen Levine, I got more. Stephen Levine. Is that possible? All right. Stephen, you bought 4? Where? You did? Okay. Thank you very much. Ellen Lifson. Hello, Ellen. They're always here, too. Tali Mendelberg. Tali Mendelberg. There you are, Tali. Welcome. Marcy Pasternak. Where's Marcy? Is that you?
Yeah.
Finally, again. Okay. How you doing, Marcy? I've heard your voice many times. Matthew Perlmutter. You here, Matthew? Okay. Kara Peskin.
Here.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And Terry Powers?
Here.
Where?
Here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. It's the lights. I'm not blind. It's just that, you know. Jeff Pullman and his dad are here. And who else? Any other Pullmans here? 4 Pullmans? Unbelievable. Wow, a lot of Pullmans. Great. Jeff I know for a long time. He went to a congregation of mine. And his daughter, I understand, is engaged. Is that right? I love that. Does the fiance know that they're engaged? Charles Ronson is here. There you are. All right. Welcome, Charles. Leslie Rothenberg. There you are, Leslie. Thank you very much. The Sapoffs are here. They're always here. God bless the Sapoffs. Thank you very much. Martin Schloss. Where's the Schloss? You guys are amazing. Love it. Okay, thank you so much. Lauren Schramm.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you. Randy Schwartz. Where? There you are. Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome for coming. Elaine Schweniger.
Here.
Easy to pronounce. Schweniger. I got it right. Okay. Okay. Susan Shapiro. Where's Susan?
Here.
Hello. Welcome.
Thanks.
Susan Silver.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Great.
How's everything going? Good. All right. The Silversteins, Stephen and Ann. There they are. Okay. Jane Simon. Jane Simon. Are you here?
No.
All right. Where? All right. Jane Simon and Yeshel? Wait a minute. Yeah. Where's Yeshel? Jane, you still here? Janie? Oh, there you back there. Okay. I named that kid. He's now 24 years old. It's unbelievable. All right. Ken and Laurie Cyrilnik, I married them. Are you guys still married too?
Right here.
All right, excellent. Paul Schlesinger.
Back here. Am I back here?
Of course you are. There you are. Thank you. Kayla Small.
Here.
Where? There you are. Welcome, Kayla. Jessica Spitzer. Oh, there you are. Okay. Mindy Squeo. I got it. Thank you again. You're great supporters. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. I want to acknowledge that we got Ellen Steiner.
Over here.
1, 2, 3. Steiners. Eileen Stern. Thank you, Eileen. Welcome. Carol Suckman. Where are the Suckmans? All 55 of them. They are amazing. They come to everything. Thank you, Suckman family. Truly. Miriam and Alan Serval. Where are you? I married them a long time ago. How's it going, by the way? Do you still like each other? I just want to... You do? All right. All right. We got Rabbi Valens. Where is he? There he is, Rabbi Valens. Molly Vander. Molly Vander, that's a trip. Molly, I like that name. Molly Vander. It rolls trippingly off the tongue. Molly Vander. Ed Wachtel. I met him online. Where's Ed? You guys are great. Thank you for coming. Daniel Weiss. There you are. Love it. Harry, thank you, Daniel. Harry Winter. Weiner. Sorry. You're not Winter? I wonder if Winter would be Jewish. Weiner's Jewish. Yeah, that's good. All right. Deborah Winchell. Thank you, Deborah. Hope Winters. Hi, Hope. And, of course, the Walsks. The Walsks. She's my Facebook buddy. All right. We want to also welcome the Vested family. Vested family, where are you? There you are. Welcome. Michael Leibowitz. I have a doctor named Leibowitz. I think we all have a doctor named Leibowitz. Eileen Stein. Eileen Stein. And Scott Buckley. All right, I want... What? I did Pasternak, didn't I? Where's the daughter? Of course you are. Melissa, I'm sorry. I'm officiating their wedding. Okay. I did, Neil. I did. Anyone else, dear, that I need to acknowledge? All right. What?
I'm
a little world. Not one name ended in a vowel.
There's no Russo's here or any. There's got to be. There's got to be. All right.
I want to be safe.
All right, for Rosh Hashanah, here we go. How many shall leave this world and how many shall be born into it? Those of you that don't know, that do know, you go to a synagogue. This is when the chazan parades through the community and sings. It's very dirge-like and mournful because it's a serious theme. But we're elevating it to it. We elevate it to another level. So here we go. Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu Ubiyom Tzom Kippur yichatevu Rosh Hashanah yikatevu Ubiyom Tzom Kippur yichatevu Kama yaverun Kama yavareu Yichyeh Umi amut, mi vakitzo, umi elo, vekitzo, Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, umi yom tzom kippur yichatevu, Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, umi yom tzom kippur yichatevu, mi va'eshu ivamayim, בחרב ומבחיה מברעב ומבעצמה מברעש ומבמה ראש השנה יקטנו וביום צום כיפור יקטנו בראש השנה יקטנו וביום צום כיפור יקטנו Rosh Hashanah yikatevu Ubiyom Tzom. Let's keep doing that. I want them to sing it. Sing. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu Ubiyom Tzom kippur yikatevu Rosh Hashanah yikatevu Ubiyom Tzom kippur yikatevu. On Rosh Hashanah it's written Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, and on Yom Kippur it is sealed. Ubiyom Tzom Kippur yikatevu. One more time. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, Ubiyom Tzom Kippur yikatevu. One more time. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu. Yes. Very good. Ikateimu. One more time. Hey, Berosh Hashanah Ikateimu. Ubeyom Tzom Kippur Ikateimu. Louder. Berosh Hashanah Ikateimu. Ubeyom Tzom Kippur Ikateimu. Wow, you guys sound amazing. I think you're feeling it. I think you're feeling the spirit. Either that or you're hungry, one or the other. Let's continue with the Aleinu. The Aleinu. Let us praise the Lord of all. And this prayer, which is attributed to the Babylonian sage Rav, is recited 3 times a day. So we Jews are supposed to pray 3 times a day. And the Aleinu is sung 3 times a day. And it's got a melody, Aleinu l'shabeach lado, right? That's our melody, but on the high holidays we have a different melody for it. And that's the one we're going to do for you. This is a specific, this is also called, this is one of those Mi Sinai tunes, one of those tunes that we think that the melody, da 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 da, you'll hear it, it was given to us a long time ago. All right, the Aleinu. The top, 2, 3. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol l'atid gedulah Jack London, ladies and one more piece of music until the jokes. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Make it a long one. Make it longer than usual. Thank you very much.
All right, the Sefer Chaim. The Sefer Chaim. May we and all Israel and all people be remembered and inscribed before you, God, in the book of life and blessing for peace and prosperity, for a happy life, and for good health and all good things. Sefer Chaim.
Shalom, ufarnasa tova, nizacher v'nikatev lefanecha, anachnu v'chol amcha v'Yisrael, l'chaim tovim, l'chaim tovim, u'l'shalom.
One more time. Sefer Chaim, bracha v'shalom, ufarnasa tova, nizacher v'nikatev lefanecha, anachnu v'chol amcha v'Yisrael, l'chaim tovim, l'chaim tovim, l'chaim tovim, l'chaim tovim, u'l'shalom. L'chaim tovim, l'chaim tovim, u'l'shalom. I work with some of these, well, all these people throughout the year, and they're wonderful. They're family, you know. It's great to have that. So the president of the congregation went to visit the rabbi in the hospital, who had just suffered a mild heart attack. He says, "Rabbi, the board just voted 12-8 to wish you a speedy recovery." Now I noticed the laughter was down because I do that joke, my opening joke, all the time. So some of you are saying, "Come on." But some of you thought that was funny because it's your first time here, right? A man is lying on the operating table, about to be operated on by his son, the surgeon. The father says, "Son, think of it this way. If anything happens to me, your mother is coming to live with you." While on a road trip, an elderly couple stopped at a roadside restaurant for lunch. After finishing their meal, they left the restaurant and resumed their trip. When leaving, the elderly woman unknowingly left her glasses on the table, and she didn't miss them. So they'd been driving about 20 minutes. And by then, to add to the aggravation, they had to travel quite a distance before they could find a place to even turn around in order to return to the restaurant to retrieve her glasses. All the way back, the elderly husband became the classic grouchy guy, you know? He fussed and he complained and he scolded his wife relentlessly during the entire return drive. The more he chided her, the more aggravated he became. He just wouldn't let up for 1 minute. To her relief, they finally arrived at the restaurant. As the woman got out of the car and hurried inside to retrieve her glasses, the old guy yelled at her, "While you're in there, you might as well get my hat and credit card." Now, I personally like that one. One more, and then we'll get down to business, all right? Bill Gates advertised for a new chairman of Microsoft Europe. 5,000 This is so funny. I'm sorry. 5,000 candidates show up for the job screening. They're assembled in a large room. Among them is Maurice Cohen, a French Jew, a small, bearded, bespectacled man. Bill Gates thanks the candidates for coming, but asks all those who are not familiar with Java programming language to leave. So 2,000 people rise and leave the room. Now Maurice Cohen says to himself, "I don't know the language, but what have I got to lose if I stay? I'll give it a try, you know?" So Bill Gates then asks all those who have no experience of managing teams of more than 100 people to leave. Another 2,000 people go. Maurice Cohen says to himself, "I never managed anybody but myself, but what have I got to lose if I stay? What can happen to me?" So then Bill Gates asks all the candidates who do not have outstanding academic qualifications to rise and leave. 500 people get up, remove themselves. Maurice Cohen says to himself, "I left school at 15, but what have I got to lose if I stay?" So he stays in the room. Lastly, Bill Gates asks all of the candidates who do not speak Serbo-Croat language to rise and leave. 498 people rise and leave the room. Maurice Cohen says to himself, "I don't speak Serbo-Croat, but what the hell? Have I got anything to lose?" He finds himself alone with the other candidate. Everyone else has gone. Bill Gates joins them and says, "Apparently you are the only two candidates who know Java, have managed large teams of employees, have advanced PhD degrees, and who can speak Serbo-Croatian. Now I'd like to hear you converse with one another in Serbo-Croatian." Calmly, Maurice turns to the other candidate and says to him, "Baruch atah Hashem." The other candidate answers, "Elokeinu melech haolam." Is that good? Come on. I love that. I I love that. One more short one. One more short. Because I have a rabbi colleague, Rabbi Ori Claire. I don't know if he's watching, but he sent me a link to some great jokes. So thank goodness, because I know you guys are getting tired of the old ones. So let's go. Okay. Here we go. Last one. I've just discovered a 3,000-year-old mummy of a man who died of heart failure, the excited scientist exclaimed. To which the curator replied, bring him in, we'll check it out. A week later, the amazed curator called the archaeologist. You were right about both the mummy's age and his cause of death. How in the world did you know? Easy. There was a piece of paper in his hand that said 10,000 shekels on Goliath. I thought that was hilarious. All right, Shana Tova, everyone. Here we are. Here we are back here, Yom Kippur 2018, back at the bitter end. It's an honor and a pleasure for sure. You know, we were sold out again. So we were sold out for Rosh Hashanah. We had a waiting list for 20. And we're sold out for Yom Kippur and had a waiting list for 25. So we're very, very happy. And again, we're very, very pleased to be here at the bitter end. So God willing, next year, if you want to come, get your ticket orders in early, okay? Because we seem to be a hot ticket, right? So what I wanted to share with you is that Judaism is very, very aware of the power of speech and the harm that can be done through speech. The rabbis note that the universe itself was created through speech. Because God said, let there be light, and there was light. And, also the idea of speech, the Kol Nidre relates to that. You know, there's a whole tractate of Talmud that relates to Nederim, vows. Vows, words. Our tradition takes words very, very seriously, so much so that the Kol Nidre was constructed to release people from vows that they couldn't keep. But this was not vows between person and person. It was vows between person and God. Those were the vows that are talked about in the Kol Nidre. And again, for words, of all the sins that are enumerated in this Ashamnu prayer that we're about to say, of course, many are committed through speech. The Talmud tells us that the tongue is an instrument so dangerous that it must be kept hidden from view, behind two protective walls, the mouth and the teeth, to prevent its misuse. So, you know, that speaks to the seriousness of words. And the harm done by speech is even worse than the harm done by stealing or by cheating someone financially, because money can be lost or repaid, but the harm done by speech can never be repaired. And we know that now, ladies and gentlemen. When words are set free today, you can't take them back. So, so think about it. Think about what you're going to say before you say it, please. And so once again, it's now time for us to ask forgiveness for the things we have said, for the things we have done that hurt people, the people that we care about, the people that we love. So now I'd like you to please rise. I know it's hard, not a lot of space. And I want you to turn to the person sitting next to you. And even if you're sitting next to someone you don't know, that's all right. Because once again, on this holy day, we are all connected. We are all one. And now I'd like you to repeat to that person after me. Repeat, Slicha. Slicha. Now say, please forgive me. Please forgive me. And then I want you to say, Salachti. Salachti. I forgive you. I forgive you. Now give him a hug. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's all right. I love you guys. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jack. All right, now stay up because we're going to do the Ashamnu prayer.
You're blocking your view.
This is a melody. If you've been to synagogue, I'm sure most of you have. Well, we have people who are Jewish here, I'm sure also. Maybe you've never experienced a synagogue. but we have this moment in the synagogue where we would say this prayer, Ashamnu, forgive us, forgive us. And all these horrible things are enumerated in the liturgy. All these terrible things. I've got a little turn on that that a rabbi wrote today that I'll share with you in a moment. And there's a melody for this. Okay, good. So here we go. So now, and I say this every year. Some Jews really somehow they got a message that they gotta clop. They gotta really smack themselves, you know, like self-flagellation. You really don't. Just be gentle with yourself. And so we're gonna do a. Here are some of the. Let's sing one. 1, 2. La 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 la. Ashamnu, Bogadnu, Bagadnu, Gizalnu, Dibarnu Dofi, Dibarnu Dofi. Let me tell you what you just said. Guilt, faithlessness, you robbed, and you spoke badly. No, I know you didn't. All right. Lie, 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 lie. Let's do some more. Yatsnu Ra. Yatsnu Ra. Kizavnu. Kizavnu. Latsnu. Latsnu. Maradnu. Maranu, Ni'atznu, Ni'atznu. Now, I haven't chosen these for any particular reason, okay? This is among many. All right? So, counseled evil, failed in our promises, scoffed, revolted, blasphemed, been rebellious. I don't know how many of you did all those things, but lie, 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 I came upon on the internet the idea, instead of being remorseful for all the horrible things we've done, how about if we are thankful for all the good things we've done? So let's try that. Ahavnu, Ahavnu, Barachnu, Barachnu, Gedalnu, Gedalnu, Dibarnu, Dibarnu. We have loved, we have blessed, we have grown, we have spoken positively. Everybody. Ay, 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 ay. Do a couple more, you'll feel better, all right? He'elinu, He'elinu, V'chasnu, V'chasnu, Zaraznu, Zaraznu, Chamalnu, Chamalnu, Tipachnu, Tipachnu. So we have raised up, we've shown compassion, we've acted enthusiastically. We've been empathetic, and we have cultivated truth. Those are good ones, right? One more for all time. Say, stay up for a minute. We're going to sing Oseh Shalom. Let's do that. And then we'll take out the Torah. Oseh Shalom Bimromah, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Yisrael.
Shalom Aleinu, Yisrael. say shalom. Shalom aleinu Yavo
Everybody stay up, unless I have to sit. We're going to take out the Torah. I want to call up all my kids. Come on, Oliver. We're going to do something. All kids here. All kids, if they want to come up. Only if they want, or they don't have to. You can come up with a parent, of course. All right? We had a bunch of kids, no? Didn't we have a few kids? Come on, kids means anybody under 40, okay? Right? For some of us, kids are like... Hello. Now, what are your names again?
I'm
Avi?
I'm Cleo.
Cleo? And Oliver? And Isaac. All right. Isn't it great that we have kids here? I love it. All right. So, I'm going to let Cleo. You guys are going to... Come here, young man. Isaac. Well, you're all going to... Let's stand around here. You two stand over here. Oops, I'm sorry. I mean, right there. Right there. That's good. Here, you two stand right here. All right. All right. So we're going to take out the Torah. All right. We've got. So here, I'm gonna. Why don't you guys open the. Everybody take a piece of the cloth here. The tali. Take a piece of the tali. Open it up. Just to pull it off. Pull it off. Very good. Now, you Avi, you hold the Torah. Lift it up. Okay, lift it up. This way. Put it on your right shoulder. Good. Turn face out. Then pass it to Cleo. Right shoulder. Okay. Good. Pass it to Isaac. Good. Pass it to Isaac. Let him have it. Good. Give it to Oliver. Love it. Everybody, Shema. Shema Yisrael. Adonai. So now, you guys are all going to do the procession. Oliver's going to lead the processional. Isaac, you're going to follow him. And then Avi and Cleo. And they're going to walk through there, walk all the way around. You're going to kiss the Torah, kiss Oliver and everybody. And come down, and we're going to sing Torah, Torah. I'm sorry. Oh, Torah, 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 Going back, Oliver. yourselves a hand. Give these kids a hand. All right, and you can be seated now. Please be seated. We're going to read from the Torah. We're going to read a little Torah. I know it's the second time I used that, but it's good. Everybody, you have your sheets. You can join with me. The Torah portion that we're reading today is identified by the little green Post-it that you see. So I don't have to struggle and say, where's... I know. Thank you, Oliver. And there are three sources for the holiday of Yom Kippur in the Torah. All right, three places in the Torah, different places, where we read about this holiday. And we're going to read this one. Here's the reference. God said to Moses on the 10th day of the month. Oh, well, we'll read it together. Let's do the blessing before. Everybody have the blessing. Try and remember your bar bat mitzvah right now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMorah. Baruch Adonai HaMorah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bacharanu mi'omarim. V'natanu et Torah. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Right here. Oh boy, that's so small. I know. Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Yasor lachodesh hashvi hazeh yom hakippurim hu mikra kodesh yeh lachem v'shi'aveh. Yanehem et nafshotehem v'hikrabtem ishel Adonai v'chol melacha lo ta'aseh b'etzem hazeh hayom hazeh yom kippurim hu l'chaper alechem l'pnei Adonai Elohechem k'chol hanefesh asher lo te'uneh b'etzem hayom hazeh v'nichrachta ma'ameta v'chol hanefesh asher ta'aseh kol melacha b'etzem hayom hazeh v'ha'avaditi et hanefesh hahi mikra mikereb amah. Did I get it all? All right. Let's read the English translation together. All right. I did. I got it all. How do you like that? The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Mark the 10th day of this 7th month is the Day of Atonement. It shall be a sacred occasion for you. You shall practice self-denial. You shall bring an offering by fire to the Lord. You shall do no work throughout the day, for it is a day of atonement on which expiation is made on your behalf before the Lord your God. Indeed, any person who does not practice self-denial throughout the day shall be cut off from his kin. And whoever does any work throughout the day, I will cause that person to perish." It's a little austere, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do the blessing afterwards, together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. You did very well. You can all have your bar bat mitzvah all over again. All right, let's close up the scroll. All right. Excellent. All right, take this little guy here. Here, Cleo, take this and put it behind its little Velcro. Yeah, that's good. Isaac, you want to put this on? It goes, slips on the top. All right? All right? All right. Let's have a hand for these kids. Maybe they're not so amazing. There we go. Put this on there. I can't see it. I do. I love boys, don't you? All right, put this in here. All right, very good. And you guys can sit down for now. Thank you very much. It's really beautiful to have kids at your service. It is. Thank you. Thank you, parents, for bringing your kids. We really appreciate that. You know, one of the most beautiful things, ladies and gentlemen, that life affords us is the opportunity to make friends, to experience friendship. True friends come to hear you perform at gigs all around New York. True friends deliver sermons when you're too lazy to come up with something to say on Yom Kippur. And I'm very pleased to welcome my good friend, Pastor Robert Brashear, who will be offering us his inspirational message for this Yom Kippur. Pastor Brashear was the spiritual leader for many years of the West Park Presbyterian Church on the corner of 86th and Amsterdam until he retired last year. Since then, he's been subbing all over town. He goes to synagogues. He goes to Chile and Germany to represent the Presbyterian Church, to teach, to mediate conflict. Not that there could be any conflict in the Presbyterian Church, right, Pastor? Not possible. Among other things, he also enjoys the community in Harlem where he lives and is a singer-songwriter like me. We do gigs together. We have one on Sunday night again. And this is our mantra. We want gigs! Yeah. And he joins me online for Sim Shalom services. So it's my great pleasure to welcome Pastor Robert Brashear.
First of all, I want to say it's great to be back here again. Since I was here last year, I've actually been on this stage twice with Rabbi Steve and Liz. So to be back here, it's a little bit like like being home for the holidays. So it feels good to be here and good to be with you. Because it's Yom Kippur, I'm going to assume that most of you out there are fasting. And I'm thinking about it. It's a little bit strange, like being in an interfaith family. I participated in fasting, for at least 25 years or more. And one thing that I learned is that when you're fasting, time moves very, very slowly. Where they got fast, I don't know. Yom Kippur, it's the holiest day of the year. And it means literally Day of Atonement. And I've been thinking about that word, atonement. And we all know that to atone is to do something to pay for what you did. To make up for something that you did. But I want to go a little deeper. In English, if we look at it, it looks like at one. And I did some research and discovered the word emerged in the 16th century from the Latin word adunatum, or unity, and carried with it the sense of reconciliation from the very beginning. It reminds me that in my tradition, every Sunday, we have a corporate prayer of worship, a corporate prayer of confession. At the end of that confession, I always say to the people, it is good when we seek forgiveness from God to seek forgiveness from one another, just like we did here earlier. It's good that we seek oneness from God, oneness with God, to seek oneness with one another. And if we seek peace with God, we seek peace with one another. And the people respond, and I say to them, the peace of the Lord be with you, and they all respond, and with your spirit. And then we all walk around and offer peace to one another through shaking of hands and hugs. The one thing I notice in that is that as easy it is for us to say to one another, I forgive you, the most difficult thing is to look in the mirror and say, I forgive you. I find for most people the most difficult person to forgive is ourselves. But I think about this. I think about, it's a reminder to me of something that I learned from Jewish friends over my years of interfaith work. Repentance is never just personal. It has a social aspect. As a rabbi friend of mine once said to me, Judaism is a team sport. You see, you can't ask God to forgive you what you did to another person without going to that person first. And it also says, as Simon Wiesenthal taught us in his very, very beautiful book, Sunflower. I really recommend it if you've never read it. Neither can you forgive someone else for what wasn't done to you. Your being here as a community today says that you know that you can't be one with God without being one with one another. It begins with relationship. I need to say a word here about forgiveness and reconciliation. They often get confused, and they're not the same thing. Forgiveness is something one does for oneself. To loose the power of victimhood, to let go. As a friend of mine once said, to forgive is to let go for all time the hope of a better past. Last year in Berlin, I met a man from Rwanda who, after years of searching, had found the man who had murdered his father during their civil war. He'd intended for years to take revenge, to take life, to get even. But confronting the man when he finally met him, he thought about what had been controlling his heart for all those years. And he let the man go and forgave him. And he said something that struck me very deeply. He said that he had learned that what we do not forgive, we become. There's something in simply letting go that frees us from the power that is over us. On a very simple level, on a much simpler level than that, I always used to tell my kids, if you go to a party or an event, and all of a sudden you see someone there who you have a broken relationship with, or you're uncomfortable with, and you just don't want to be around, all of a sudden it's like there's a magic spell over you. And the only way you break that spell is to walk across the room and off your hand. If the other person takes it, well and good, and if they don't, nevertheless, you are still free because you acted. Forgiveness, however, does nothing for relationship. As a Spanish friend of mine said to me, no hay reconciliación sin reconstrucción, which means there is no reconciliation without reconstruction. Reconciliation is a process. It is sometimes a long process to reconstruct a relationship, step by careful step. But what else can atonement be about than reconciliation? I'm going to ask you to, okay, I know that we're entering the final hours of the days of awe, final hours of fasting, the final hours of reflection. What was written down in pencil last week is written in ink today, and they closed the book and put a latch on it. Sort of like the song we used to sing when I was a little kid, making a list, checking it twice, going to make sure who's naughty and nice. Maybe that was something else, but it's the same idea. Okay? So this afternoon, while things are getting written in ink, while the book is being closed, find a quiet spot. Think about this for a moment, just for a few moments. Think about the last year and allow the faces of people who have made an impact to you pass in front of you. The faces of those who have made you happy, who have been there for you when you needed them. And then think of the faces of those who have hurt you. And then think perhaps of those you have hurt, even if inadvertently. And where a relationship may be broken. And ask yourself if there's just one step, just one, that you might make to break the ice, the iciness of brokenness, and begin the first tentative step towards reconciliation. Look, I gotta be honest, there's a lot of brokenness around us these days. A lot of brokenness. And it's very, very difficult to think about. I think about this. when it's so hard to even begin to repair relationships between two people who know each other, perhaps even two people from the same family. Think about how hard that people live in families and don't speak to each other for decades. As Rabbi was referring to, churches, congregations have these fights that take place. When you look at that, then try and imagine how we can even begin to think that there might be reconciliation between those who believe Donald Trump is the answer and those who believe the exact opposite. Between black citizens of our country and white citizens. And yes, even Palestinians and Israelis. How do we even begin to think that that might be possible? It's all in that first scary step. That's where life is. That's where life abounds. When you take that first step, you know you're alive. The closing words of the Torah portion for this morning say, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today, that I've set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Choose life so that you and your descendants may live, loving the Lord your God, obeying him, and holding fast to him, for that means life to you and length of days. So today, may your fast go well. And may your break fast be joyous. I say to you, choose life, l'chaim.
Yashikoah, Pastor. Yashikoah. All right, the Yizkor sheets are out, right? We all have Yizkor sheets. All right, the Yizkor Memorial Service in which we are about to participate. Traditionally, young people who had not experienced loss were asked to leave the sanctuary and would have to wait, for all in the clear out of the sanctuary. This is still done, but today I believe the message of Yizkor can be expanded. It's greater than an expression of personal mourning. It's also a message of awareness and gratitude that we should be grateful for those that are with us, for all of our memories of those we've lost, and for all of our hopes and dreams to come. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you now to please, I'm going to call up, Pastor, what are you doing? You want to hold the Torah? Sure. For the Yizkor? Come on. The Yizkor Memorial Prayer, which we're about to recite, is a prayer for the departed. And it means remember. It's not only the first word of the prayer, but it also represents the overall theme. We actually recite the Yizkor 4 times a year. We recite it on the last day of Passover, on the second day of Shavuot, which is in May or June, on Shemini Atzeret, which is in 2 weeks, and today, on Yom Kippur. And in this prayer, we implore God to remember the souls of our relatives and friends that have passed on. So I ask you to please rise with me. Look at your sheets. We're going to do the first part that's in the rising of the sun. You all will respond with we remember them, all right? Here we go. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Please join with me in Psalm 23. Together. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still water. He restores my soul. He guides me in right paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now continue with the silent Yizkor. You'll just insert the names of those you choose to remember, and we'll have a moment of total silence right now. Okay? May God remember forever all those I love who have gone to their eternal rest. May they be at one with the one who is life eternal. May the beauty of their lives shine forevermore. And may my life always bring honor to their memory. Now I'm going to chant the traditional prayer of morning, the El Malei Rachamim. El Malei Rachamim, Shochen B'Moromim, Hamatzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei Ashchina, Im Kedoshim U'Tahorim Kezohar Harakia Mazirim Lenishmor Yakireinu Shehalchu Lamor Bal Harachamim Yastirem B'Seiter Kenofav L'Olamim V'Yitzeru B'Yitzeru Et Nishmatam Adonai Hu Nachalatam V'yanuchu B'Shalom Al Mishkavam Abenomar God God full of compassion, you dwell in the heights and in the depths. Grant true rest under your sheltering wings of your presence to our loved ones who have entered eternity. Let them find refuge forever in the shadow of your wings, and let their souls be bound up in the bond of eternal life. For you, the everlasting God, are their inheritance. May they rest in peace. Let us all say, Amen. Let's join together for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbi Ve'olma tivrach Yeruteh Ve'amliv malchuteh B'chayechon v'yomechon U'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael Va'agala v'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yahei Shemei Rabba Mavorach Li'olam Lomei Omayah Yitmarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalol Shemei Dekudshah B'richu La'ela min kol birkata v'shiata tushbachata v'nechamata Ta'amiram bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shloma Rabba Min Shemaya B'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Ramah Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. And now, actually, the pastor and I have a song we want to sing for you, an inspirational song. You can be seated for this. Lightning struck on the sea. It's an ember always glowing. It's in you, it's in me.
It's a sundown on the horizon. It's the moon glow at your feet. It's starlight up in heaven. It's in you and it's in me.
When the darkness hangs around, day and night, night and day, there's a spark just waiting for you to help you find the way. It's a candle in a desert. It's a twinkle your soul can see. There's a lamp forever burning. It's in you and it's in me. It's in you, and it's in me. It's in you, and it's in me. Well, there's a spark you can see. It's in you, and it's in me. Let's pray for that spark, huh? That's your co-op, Pastor. Are we do blessings for healing? You can probably sit if you want. Okay. All right. We're going to just sing through the Mishnah. We're going to begin to conclude. So again, like last week, I'm not going to walk around and ask. Yes, I will. Right. I'll walk around and ask anybody for names while they're playing. Why don't you guys play it? So anyone who's ill, I'm going to walk around, just say their names, and I look at you, and that energy will carry. That energy will carry from this room. That energy will carry across the world, people that are watching us right now, and we'll try and help these people who are in need of healing, okay? let us say, and let us say, okay, we're just going to return the Torah to the ark. All right, let's get one of my rabbi friends. Come up, Neil. Let's return the Rabbi Neil is going to come up. We're going to return the Torah to the ark. That's Eitz Chaim He, ladies and gentlemen. Eitz Chaim He. Okay, Eitz Chaim. Good. Eitz Chaim He, Lama Chazikim Ba V'Tomcheha Me'ushar Derameha Darchei Noah V'chol Netivoteha We're going to sing Avinu Malkeinu the way we do it. We do it fun. All right, Carol, you have an intro here, I see. Come on. Is it on your things? I think it is. You don't need it. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu. V'yein banu masi, Masei banu, Tzedaka v'chesed. Let's hear you sing. Band, come down. Get ready. 2, 3, and Avinu Malkeinu. That's so good. Vaneinu. Vaneinu. Avinu. Vaneinu. Vaneinu. I say. about to conclude. I just want to say, first of all, Gemara Tov may all be inscribed very well. Secondly, thank you for supporting us and for coming out. We're very honored that we have all of you here, and that so many of you come back year after year. We plan to be back here next year, God willing, and buy your tickets early. We like this. This is like a family, you know. So thank you for that. And again, a big round of applause for my band. They're all beautiful. They're all beautiful. I also want to acknowledge again Paul Rizzo, who's somewhere in the back or outside or somewhere, and Evan Kremen, who's doing our sound. Yes, here for Evan. And a special treat for you is Evan is going to blow a Tekiah Gedola for you all shortly. Just give us a minute. Any other announcements? Well, the only announcements I would say is I am going to be streaming Ne'ilah at 4:30 online today. If you're home and you want to watch, it's fun. It's really nice. It's a great way to end, and you know, hopefully you're not eating, but if you are, I mean, you can still follow along. And I conclude at 6. I don't go till 7:30. 6 o'clock is good for me. So from 4:30 to 6, it's just beautiful. It's just me singing songs and with images of the Holy Ark, the Aron HaKodesh, and of Torah, and little readings and prayers. It's very nice. And throughout the year, we do Friday night services. I'm on Friday nights at 6:30 doing my original music, and then the service starts at 7. We do a 1 hour, kind of like this, fun, sweet, and lots of people chat. So you're welcome to join us. Sometimes the pastor joins me. We do question and answers session. We do everything, and then we have other rabbis Monday through Thursday who lead a service at 7 o'clock. In case, God forbid, you need a place to say Yizkor, you can also do it with us at 7 o'clock. So we have all that, and we have full programming online at our synagogue. All right, let's. I want to conclude with Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. On this day, give us strength. On this day, bless us. On this day, help us grow. On this day, be mindful of us. On this day, inscribe us for a good life. On this day, hear our plea, and support us with your just strength. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Okay. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom Tiyom Etzenu. Amen. And they got the amen. After the da 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 da. You gotta say amen. That's right. Here we go. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom Tivarachenu. Well, that's pretty good. Let's do it one more. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom Tigarolenu. Amen. One more. So much fun. Piece of cake now. Yeah, Lizzie. It's your count. Yeah. Jack. Isn't that great? Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom, Hayom, Hayom. Hayom Tiyom Etzenu. Amen. Oh, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Now we're going to sing the Kaddish Shalom, and then we'll just have a little meditative ballad, and we're over for the day. So, and the shofar. Forgive me. We're going to do Yit Gadol. This is a lovely melody. You only do it on the high holidays. It's a great melody. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yit Gadol, Yit Gadol, Shemei Rabbi, Be'alma, Tivrachiru, Temi Amali, Malchute, בייחוד וביום אחד וחיי בכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו יהי שמן אבא מברך לעולם ולעולמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתעשה ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי קודשם בריך לעילא ולעילא מכל ברכתה ושילתה ושבחתה ונחמתה אמירת באהבה וימרו אמן תתקבל צלונם ובאות הון לכל ישראל קדם אבוהון ישמעיה וימרו יהי שלום על עולם משמיים וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. That's good. Alright, we'll give you a little ballad, then we're going to get Evan to come up. Let's do the Kol Ha'olam Kulo. It's sweet. Great way to end for our service. It's a folk melody. The lovely folk melody, Kol Ha'olam Kulo, Gesher, Tsar Me'od. All of the world is a narrow bridge. But the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, is not to fear. So says Rav Nachman of Bratslav. Kol Ha'olam Kulo, Gesher, Tsar Me'od, Gesher, Tsar Me'od, Gesher Tsar Me'od, Kol Ha'olam Kulo, Gesher Tsar Me'od, Gesher Tsar Me'od. Ve'ha'ikar, ve'ha'ikar, lo lefachek, lo lefachek nav, ve'ha'ikar, ve'ha'ikar, lo lefachek nav. Pretty, isn't it? Sing together. Let's do the la-las. La 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 Ladies and gentlemen, blessings to all of you in the coming year, and may your year be healthy and filled with joy, and a grandchild if you're expecting one. Why not? Rabbi Evan, would you please come forward? Our shofar blower. Now let's see how much wind he's got today. You know, we got to warm him up. We're going to do Tekiah, Shavorim, Teruah, then Tekiah Gedolah. All right? That way you warm up. Okay, so, but you have to call it out. So the first one you're going to call out is Tekiah as a group. Ready? Tekiah. Shavorim. Teruah. Now, Tekiah Gedolah. Good Yontif, ladies and gentlemen. You're done.
Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Want me to go with you?
It's like a really big fight, right?
I'd rather not.
It's kind of somebody said a square it's like, no, I know who that is. Except for she's better than
Yes. Yes, it's all today. Holidays came around more often. It's easy. I walk 5 miles every morning.
That's all.
You remember the
I think I'm going to see the new Michael Horror movie. Not today.